Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Beyond the Summit. We've got Season 12 of Star Ladder getting kicked off with America, starting off with Voidboys versus Wheel Wreck while whistling. Oh man, is it a mouthful. I'm Zyori, this guy's Purge.
Hey.
What's up, man?
Not much. Just felt like doing some casting again, so here I am. I decided to drive over. I live about 50 minutes away, so...
Just woke up, decided, you know what?
I've been awake for like 2 hours.
I need some more Dota in my life.
Yeah.
Let's jump into this draft. We won't delay too much longer. A little slow getting set up here to get things started, but Voidboys versus Team Wheel. And wow, these overlays really do not line up that well. Okay, well, Voidboys are on the Dire and Wheel are on the Radiant. Well, what do you think, Purge? Are you familiar with either of these teams?
I've watched a couple, not very many Voidboys games, and I know some of the players on the W team. Sleesel, fan of Soyan, some of those might be, are any of those other Smurf names, or are those their legitimate tags?
They should all be the official names.
Agni and Rudra, that looks like Relic. That's Relic's icon.
That is Relic. That is, so, well, yeah, that he is one of their official players. So
okay,
yeah, I think
so I guess they just might not have proper tags up there, but I think that looks like Relic, fan of Soyan, and Sleesel. I think some of those guys have been playing together for a really long time, at least over a year. So, and they got the OP sniper, so good for them. But Voidboys have the Spectre counter, so it's a little tough.
They used to be, oh, I'm forgetting their old team name, but it was a similar group with Tolera and all those guys. So, whoa, a third pick, Broodmom. I'm feeling brave here to go with their Sniper and Earthshaker.
Well, they did already ban Legion Commander. We saw that matchup, at least when Ben's team played that other team in NA. I don't remember.
Oh, that team.
I don't know what the team names are. It was Voidboys? Okay. So they played Voidboys, and what they did was they laned TC played a Broodmother, and the enemy team picked a Legion Commander, because when the spiders all grouped up, you get bonus damage for every unit within the AoE, so you essentially just one-shot spiders. And it's one of the best ways to do it. It's like almost an instant cast time. It does a ton of damage. You just clear the spiders. It gives you a way to not worry about the spiders, which is Broodmother's main threat. So... that's why they picked it so early, because I guess they feel that they have the best anti-brood counters. And if you look at their two set of bans, they banned out a Storm, who's probably decent at clearing spiders because of his high armor and his huge AoE damage, and they also banned out Legion Commander. So I guess it seems like they're preparing for this brood pick here. Yeah.
Fairly well prepared, at least. Even an early pick, Spectre from Voidboys, pretty bold. Usually don't see her picked up until fourth or fifth pick even. Now thinking about it quite a bit, they settle on Spirit Breaker for their third. He's been a pretty popular offlaner in like that CIS region right now, and he's coming on up in America.
Yeah, I saw a game with him played a few days ago. That was the finals of the Summit 3 qualifier, actually, and they've had a Spirit Breaker on their team, and it did really well. And it's really good against Sniper as well. Sniper doesn't have a stun anymore other than his ultimate, and he definitely can't channel his ult in time. So if you can get a Spirit Breaker and a Spectre on top of the Sniper, the hero dies. Like, that's the best way to counter Sniper. You need to be able to gap close before he's able to initiate with shrapnels all over the place. So if you gap close on top of him and you kill him at the start of the fight, then Sniper has a lot of problems. But if you can say, wait, at the back of the fight, then Sniper's going to have the best day ever. So despite them picking Sniper up early here, Voidboys is countered with two good picks. And they also have Swap to make things work. They have 3 different heroes now that can easily gap close on Sniper. Maybe not super easily for Revenge's case, but it's all options. So.
Alright, we'll see what Team Wheel grab. They'll need another support as well as probably their safe lane carry. I reckon Sniper will be headed to the mid lane. Yeah,
I would think so too. They have an Earthshaker as well. That's actually one of the good things that the W team has going for them. Is that they have Fissure that can stop Spirit Breaker as he charges in. So that's a pretty good option.
Rubik is also another good hero for that. We'll see what that final support is after the final bans as they third pick the Razor. He's another one that's really fallen off in popularity. I've only seen him picked hit or miss.
I mean, compared to TI4, it's way different. But I mean, that was quite a while ago, almost a year now. Benefits of this hero here is that if Spirit Breaker initiates, he can sap the damage. The downside of that is Spirit Breaker's damage is actually mostly magical because of his Bash and his Nether and his Charge. That's all magical damage. So Razor will work decently well against that, and I think he'll work really good if they feel like doing an aggressive trial lane or something like that. He's a pretty good early game carry. He's got a lot of damage output. He can lower tri-lane damage, and he also has an AoE nuke. So I could see the Razor doing pretty well here against the Spectre if they do decide to go aggressive. And especially since they picked a Broodmother, they could potentially really abuse a matchup like that. Broodmother versus Spirit Breaker. Spirit Breaker's not going to win that lane. Definitely not. So I think we might see Wheel try to go for aggressive tri-lane here.
Okay, that could be an option. So who's your ideal support? I guess a Skywrath Mage could work pretty nicely if you want to aggro try like that.
I would probably...
like an Ancient Apparition, maybe.
I would prefer something more reliable, but Sky would work.
I guess Lion is still an
Fissure
option.
and slows. My only issues with Sky is his armor is really low, so in the late game against a Spectre or a Spirit Breaker, he's gonna have a lot of trouble surviving.
Yeah.
Unless he gets a lot of survivability items. Like, I mean, there's not a lot of supports that can deal with Spectre very well late, or at least tank the damage that it deals very well. And they definitely need a ranged disabler, I think, or a ranged damage dealer. I'm not really sure. It could be a Skywrath. I don't think it'd be a terrible pick, but I just don't think there's necessarily a good pick against diving heroes like Spirit Breaker or Spectre that also has a ranged disable. It's hard to find that mix.
That's true. Well, Puck will be the 4th choice for the Voidboys, and straight away, Team Wheel ban out the Quap. So thinking it's a position 4 Spirit Breaker, not one that'll be dedicated to a lane. I was thinking he would be the core offlane and Puck would head mid, but I guess still a bit ambiguous here with this final choice. And there's that Lion ban.
Yeah, it is a little weird. It's going to be a Shadow Shaman, so that's a hero that's decent against Spectre. If you can hex the illusion as it appears, Spectre won't be able to appear or to jump on you, so that's one solution. And Shadow Shaman all around just has really good disables. The hero's a little squishy and his range isn't the best in terms of his disables, but if you do find somebody solo, you've got a really easy kill. And in terms of countering a Spirit Breaker, he's pretty solid too, because Hex is an instant cast, so you can shut down Spirit Breaker, you have a lot of physical damage output that'll help out in the fight, and just general team fight disruption. So I think it'll work. It's just if he gets behind, he's gonna have a really bad time against the Puck and the Spirit Breaker and the Spectre, I think. But it's a decent pick. I think Lion would have been better, but
whoa, okay. Tinker, the final choice for Voidboys, so it looks like it will be the support Spirit Breaker after all, with Puck most likely being the off lane. Beyond will take Tinker to the mid, and then that leaves Patsol for the safe lane.
What are they laning against the Broodmother, though? I guess it's maybe Tinker with March, but that still doesn't feel very safe. Feels like the Brood could easily outplay against that.
I think it'll more likely be the Puck.
It's got to be Puck or Tinker. Those are the only options, right? Like, the other ones won't work. Maybe a Spirit Breaker with a Stout could live for a long time, but eventually he'll get burned down, I think. So, I don't know. It's going to be... I think I like the Wheel draft better here, personally, but in the late game, Voidboys might be stronger. It's kind of what it looks like to me. They have better disables. I don't know. There's not super good disables on Wheel either before they get Blink Daggers on Shadow Shaman or Earthshaker. It's pretty much just fissures and nukes and stuff and slows. So it might be really hard to lock down the Spectre in a lot of ways. If he wants to escape. Might be a really hard gank.
Yeah, it's kind of an interesting draft on both sides, but I can't just... Whoa, somebody's getting fig files on here. I think that's Mr. Dakota. You crazy bastard. I don't know how you control camera like that. Alright, there we go. Now we got that buttery smooth camera I'm talking about here, Purge. So...
Go ahead.
Whew. Good stuff. So, I don't know. The teamless sniper tends to do a little bit better. That's like the 2K MMR analysis from the games I've been casting recently. This guy just seems ridiculous.
He's really strong. I played him in a pub game last night. He felt really overpowered, and I didn't even lane super well, but all you need is, once you get your Mask of Madness in your phase, assuming they don't have a lot of good diving heroes, you can just very easily chase after kills from heroes that don't have super high armor or escapes. Like, I played against an Ancient Apparition. There's absolutely nothing he can do. I'm attacking him from almost 1,000 range away, and if he gets below 267 HP, he just dies because I can assassinate him. It's really strong, but Voidboys picked really good heroes to counter this. Like I said, they have heroes that can dive and initiate and close the gap, and if you can do that, it's not as bad, and considering they have pretty good stuns all around and gap close, I think they'll have an okay time against Sniper here. It won't be the worst.
Yeah, SB and Spectre are two good ones. You're right, it's a very mobile lineup. Everybody has some kind of gap closer or disable or some way to make the life for the sniper a bit more difficult if they can get up close and personal. So, I know there's a lot of Patsol fans out there that are quite confident. I'd love to see the bets for a game like this because it's only the hardcore fans that really bet or look at recent results. And unfortunately, these matches did not make it to Dota 2 Lounge today, so we'll have to go with our own predictions. The predictions in our hearts, perhaps.
And I have no idea what my heart's telling me right now, so I can't help you out here. So one cool thing that started off was that Derp on the Earthshaker did a little bit of a fissure block for the off-lane Broodmother. So Broodmother will get a bit of a better lane, which means that it's going to be harder for these supports to zone him out. So his first couple levels should be pretty guaranteed here, which is really, really good for him. Because they actually do have Sentry Ward, so keeping him out of range would be doable if it wasn't for the case of this Earthshaker fissure block. So that's a really nice thing that Earthshaker gives you. And from here, oh, he's actually also blocking the safe lane. Look at that. That's a cool way to get control of the safe lane as well. He pulls the safe lane back without needing to actually pull here. So he can't actually zone a Puck as an Earthshaker. Instead, he just fissures the creep wave, and that does almost the same thing. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, smart stuff. So it will be the safe lane Razor for the Radiant, and Toleror will take the Shadow Shaman. to support there. No surprise to see Relic on the Sniper mid, Sleesel off lane on the Brood. So Puck's on the off lane for the Dire, Tinker mid, then they'll just have a safe lane try. Right now, Spirit Breaker hanging out up top, trying to leech to his level 2. Venge will be joining him as well, and all this just to protect Patsol, who should have no trouble farming against this Brood, at least not in the early stages.
Yeah, they're also, the pull completions are really useful. Oh, he placed the sentry down. This is really bad. He's going to try to get the obs first. This is going to be really close. Who's going to get it? Okay, he gets the obs.
Okay.
But they got the sentry, so that's pretty good for him. I think that's worth it. If he went for the sentry, he might have been able to make it in time.
Would have been a close call, but they also would have had a stun from the Venge, so...
Yeah. It's
50,
okay. Like
50-50.
The sentry will go away, and now he knows that they don't always know where he is. If he can't see them, they probably can't see him either. So that's not a bad trade for him. He should be able to be more greedy about sapping experience.
All right, a big question mark for me is the Spirit Breaker. I mentioned in the CIS region he's been really popular, but almost exclusively as the dedicated offlaner, where he kind of lanes until level 6, maybe if there's a golden opportunity charges around, but rushes to that Nether Strike, so the pick-off potential becomes a much bigger threat. Here on the 4, it's a lot more difficult for the Spirit Breaker, and he's really on the 5 at this rate. The Venge finding a little bit of farm with the neutrals, and he's just kind of moving around the jungle for now.
Yeah, when an offline side pulls like this, it's really unfortunate because it hurts your EXP and gold gain. The Vengeful Spirit did get a last hit on it.
Yeah.
But it's really tough. You really don't want your offlaner to be able to do that, and losing the obs is going to be the issue. Puck's in some trouble down here.
I think this could be a first blood. It is. Shackles will stop him from jaunting to the orb. It'll be Razor that draws the first blood. Nicely done. They caught Puck without his orb as he moved into the trees. Was trying to wait for that cooldown, but they found him a little too soon.
Yeah, that was really close. Good attempt at escape for him. He would have TP'd out. And they're going to kill his obs ward too, so wow, double
victory.
whammy.
Yeah. Well, Puck's life just got a lot more difficult. All of a sudden, looking at his vision, it's completely dark, and he's only got 1 CS to his name. This is really not so good for the Fairy Dragon. Even just losing 25 damage from that static link hurts his last hitting ability quite a bit.
Man, Sleesel's doing such a good job here on the offlane. He just keeps doing the side pulls here, and the problem with their supports is they just don't have AoE. They don't have a way to deal with this, so considering he dewarded the Observer Ward and now he's getting side pulls off, this means some of these creeps will get denied, but most importantly, his EXP gain is going to go up. There's the charge. We'll see a stun next. Omega Opponent's definitely going down. Venge dies first. Sleesel will also die, so not terrible for him. Let's see what the recap is when it comes back.
I think it's pretty good. He got the kill first, so at least he gets that solo XP for the Venge.
So looks like Spectre gets about 300 gold. The Venge loses 89. The Spirit Breaker gets 69, and the EXP changes approximately equal. So I would say it's, I don't know, it's really bad for the Venge, but it's good for the Spectre. So it might have implications that could be positive for Voidboys, but definitely okay for Sleesel, I think.
Yeah, he's got his Soul Ring, now probably just working on the grind for the Midas. And continue that farming and pressuring this lane. Down bottom, Puck blocked out by a fissure, but that's an orb right over it, and he'll be able to pick up the bounty rune. No bottle on the Puck, but happy to grab a little bit of extra gold and XP. Tinker bottles up the top rune. It is an invisibility rune, and he's only level 5, so not really too much Beyond can do here. 3 points in March, 2 points in Laser, opting to skip the missiles altogether.
Yeah, it's not too uncommon, I guess, because he is going to be right-click trading a lot with the Sniper here, so...
Up top, Sleesel finds a pick-off onto the Venge. Is it going to be another one-for-one trade? It is! Rinse and repeat from last time, although this go-around the Spirit Breaker gets the last hit, so I guess a slightly better trade for the Brood.
I mean, Spirit Breaker's pretty farmed here. He's got 800 gold, and he's already got boots. They do have a Flying Courier as well, so while the Venge is extremely gimped, he's nowhere near close boots here. The Spirit Breaker has a lot of money. He could actually turn this into a fast treads, maybe, and use this for decent ganking, or maybe even an urn or something like that. So it's channeling some advantage to the Broodmother and the Spirit Breaker, but Venge is losing kind of everything here. So I don't know. It could change the game drastically. It's going to be hard for Venge to be effective in the next 10 minutes.
Wrap around towards the bottom lane. Tuller on the Shadow Shaman. A 1-1-1 opener here as he moves around with a smoke online. They want to gank this Puck once more. And it looks like Razor, level 6. Did go hand to Midas first item, and here we go. There's the Hex to stop the orb from Puck. Now the Shackle's locked in place. Nowhere to go. But they don't quite have the damage. The orb, there's that last bit of damage they needed. Spoke too soon as they bring down the 3-2-2 Puck. And get another kill up on the scoreboard. 4-2 now. Team Wheel are leading, though. There's a long charge from Spirit Breaker. How deep does he go here? Tuller is pretty low, but Razor's got a lot of extra damage. Now the Haunt in from Spectre. Realities of the Shadow Shaman. They find that kill. Now they want the Razor. He's on the run. Mochi throws out the Lantern, hoping for a bash. Won't find it. and they just back out. So Patsol does find a kill there, but whoa, while all that was going on, in the mid lane, Relic finds a pick off onto Tinker with the help of the Earthshaker.
Yeah, it looks like Venge was there as well, and he even threw a stun there, but Relic stayed alive, so decent gank all around. And the Spec getting a kill on the bot lane. He was level 6 pretty fast there, likely due to the Broodmother kills. So those extra kills that he got on the Brood pushed his experience and gold to a good place where he could get that kill off. So it may really impact things negatively. It's interesting to see how it's changing. But there is a Midas on the Razor, by the way. He's got 30 CS and 2 kills now, so his gold gain is pretty solid.
Yeah, glancing over at net worth already, he's looking pretty good, even with the Spectre, but it's that Brood who's the big tipper of the scales, I suppose. Really farming well. Number 1 on net worth now after finding the last hit on that tower. 1,700 gold. Could have that Midas up here just in a matter of seconds, really.
Yeah, it's a lot harder for Spectre to stay safe now, too, because now that that tower is gone, there's more places that the supports have to place wards to check gank paths. So it's pretty easy when Wheel gets some more experience that they can just shift into the offlane with 2 supports with the Brood and just get easy solo kills. Or really, it's a triple gank on Spectre, so a lot harder here. The Venge is going to start off by putting a ward by the top rune spot, so his blocking, or at least his vision places, are in the mid and the top rune, so it's really easy just to TP to the lane and run all the way through and go for the gank. So kind of scary here for the Dire team.
Yeah, absolutely so. It's already a 3,000 good net worth lead, about 2,000 experience in the favor of the Radiant, and now they've got the double hand of Midas. Nothing on the Earthshaker. He's playing that 5. That's for damn sure. He doesn't have a single item to his name. But they've got 2 hands of Midas on their cores. So I think all things considered, they're feeling pretty well. And wow, Spectre feels obligated here into a Vanguard pickup at the 8-minute mark.
Yeah, I mean that's gonna block almost all the damage from the spiders, so he's got that going for him. The Brood himself is very unlikely to kill him. He can't even come into the lane and just spawn spiderlings. You really need a regen source if you're going to be harassed this much from a Broodmother, so I think he definitely had to get a Vanguard this game. It's not a bad purchase.
Okay. Every time I see a Spectre get a Vanguard, it works really well if he can be combative, find some kills, use the ulti pretty actively around the map, and you can really get involved. But if those fights backfire, or if the other team doesn't really give you any openings to take fights, it can just be a sunk cost that's slowing you down from that big farming tool in your Radiant. So it can work really well, but it can also backfire if the opposition plays around it.
Yeah, but he's doing fine. He's got 2 kills and 1 assist. He's got 48 CS. That's really high. His GPM isn't as high as the Razor due to the Midas, but that still should mean that his overall strength in team fights is higher, since there's a lot of sunk cost into a Midas that doesn't pay off until later.
2-0-1 on the Spectre. Not a bad KDA in the first 8 minutes of gameplay or so. Razor maybe looking for a mech first item after the Midas. Has a ring of regen. Fairly likely pick up there. You see the spiders up top poking Patsol and doing just that, doing next to no damage here.
Yeah, it's
kind of a sad story for the spiders.
Yeah, the spiders do between 10 and 20 physical damage. They also have a 6 damage per second magic nuke thing. It's not really a nuke, it's more like a trickle.
Yeah.
Look at that magic trickle. Nuke. It's so strong.
The magic.
Yeah, but that's mostly... Ooh, we got a haunt going on. Mid lane going on the sniper. Oh, he gets bashed as well. Easy kill from Patsol.
Derp's going to be able to walk away here, yeah. Almost got lucky with that bash over the fissure, but don't worry, there was a Spectral Dagger there, and Patsol walks right over it. Oh, nice setup there, and it is Spectre that gets credit for that kill, so again, a very successful gank, and so far so good with this Vanguard, 3-0-1. That's the kind of score you want to see on this combative Spectre.
Yeah, and again, Brood can't do anything about it, so unless heroes start rotating, or Brood farms a stupidly fast another item, I don't even know what he'd have to get to kill the Spectre, because an Orchid's not going to do it. Because his damage is just not high enough. Even with his ulti turned on, it's a 60 damage increase. He's still only going to be hitting for 80 damage after the damage block goes through. So they need some rotations to get kills, and it's going to take probably a sniper and maybe a Shadow Shaman to get the kill. He's very safe this game right now.
So how's Tinker looking? Sitting in the mid lane. He's been farming pretty consistently, getting out-farmed by the Sniper. He's got 47 last hits compared to the 60 of old Sniper. Beyond still pretty far away from BOTs. Whoa, there's that Zyori tunnel vision there. And they'll get an easy one on the Razor. Dream Coil to set up. Oh, and even another strike to boot. Yeah, that's an easy kill.
So kind of unfortunate for him, especially because he's so close to Mechanism. He's actually about 300 gold away, so if he would have been able to finish that, his power curve would have kept going, but a kill there delays his mech by quite a bit, so him grouping up to maybe push the mid tower is going to have to be delayed.
So anyway, Beyond not really farming out of control here. You'll see some Tinkers start to snowball, and he's still very far away from BOTs. He has his Soul Ring in his bottle, but going to be a little while longer before Beyond starts moving around and controlling the map.
So Earthshaker's got boots here, almost level 5. The Shadow Shaman's about to hit 6, so their timings are going to be pretty close between the mech and the Plague Wards, or the Serpent Wards, sorry. I think they should just take bottom. Bottom's pretty low. It's only got 400 HP. Brood can pressure top in the meantime. Kind of, again, the Vanguard on the Spectre causing a huge nuisance. They actually can't pressure as hard due to this hero not being able to die, essentially. So, but I think it should be a bot push, most likely. Oh, they're actually smoking the top lane instead, so they're going to use the wards, maybe kill Spec. I don't know if that's going to work here, because Vanguard also blocks Serpent Ward damage, if I'm not mistaken.
Let's take a look at Radiant Vision here, and maybe they're thinking they have the magic damage, but not even a dunk up on the Earthshaker. Swap onto Sleesel as he walks on by. He's getting charged right now. Fissure breaks it up. That'll stop the Space Cow dead in his tracks.
Good TP.
Omega Poner makes it out, but now it's a 3-on-2. Spirit Breaker as well as Spectre on the run. Spectre does have an ultimate here to make the getaway. Spirit Breaker has a charge coming up, but nope, that'll be the end of him. Sleesel finds the kill with the spawn Spiderlings, and they will get a 1-for-0 pick off in the top lane.
Yeah, that's not bad. They didn't actually use Serpent Wards yet, so they haven't really lost a huge amount other than a little bit of support time here, and they got a kill out of it. They probably should have had 2 kills, but a really nice charge by the Spirit Breaker stunned all the spiders and prevented the chase there. So they get out of that, no problem. Only losing 1, of course. That's not too bad.
And now Broodmother pulls further into the lead. 3,200 gold up on Sleesel. So we'll see if it's that Necronomicon style, the Orchid, what kind of ability he wants to go for. It could even be a Dagon type game if he feels fit for it. I've seen that build a few times on the Broodmother.
I don't really know what would be good here. I think he has to get an Orchid because there's so many good heroes on VB that are countered by Orchids, such as Puck as well as Tinker. Those heroes, if you silence them, you just almost guarantee a kill. So I feel like he has to go Orchid, but maybe he's going to focus more on pushing it. I really don't know. It could be Necro 3, it could be Orchid, I'm not sure. Necro 3 is not the best versus Vanguard, of course, but...
Yeah. Great for the Rat, though.
Yeah, good for pushing. But he's got to kill the hero that's in the lane, and as soon as this guy gets a Radiance, like... his pushing's done. He can't do anything then. Charge?
Oh, bashed by Roche. That is so
God.
unfortunate. Still finds another strike, though. Tolera maybe still in some trouble. Gets off the Hex.
Oh, yeah.
There's your other shock. Magic Missile comes flying in, and yeah, that's a dead shot.
You know what? He deserved it. Let's... I don't even feel bad. He got the luckiest escape ever, and luckily Venge was there to do the follow-up stun. So I can't believe his ulti was such a long range. That was insane by the time it ended up. You know, I want to talk about the skill build a little bit on Spirit Breaker. I've been seeing a lot of Spirit Breakers max out charge, but in the last week I saw 2 Spirit Breakers max out bash, which I always felt like was the build to go because it does more damage by far. But people really valued the extra stun, the guaranteed stun duration for Charger of Darkness. So this build does more damage, I think, but it has less guaranteed stun duration. Yeah,
absolutely. It's more the RNG build. If you get like that double bash off of the charge, then all of a sudden you're doing huge damage. We'll hold that thought, though, as there's a fight to break out here in the Radiant Jungle. Mech will help buy them some time, but it's a 4-on-2. Derp will be the first to go down, and now the Razor, I think, soon to follow. There's just not much they can do here. They did get the kill on the Venge. Razor surprisingly tanky, but the puck comes in and makes the anti-3-2-2 play. Now Tolera turns it around. It's just a non-stop engagement as rockets fly over the tree line. Tolera will be okay. No Blink Dagger on Beyond, so no way to close the gap and come in for another laser.
That wasn't bad at all for Wheel there.
Ends up being a 2-for-2. Way better for Wheel than it seemed it would be at first.
Yeah, they walked right into the Earthshaker there. He got a huge dunk off. They essentially gave him a free Blink Dagger and allowed him to Echo and Fissure 2 or 3 heroes. So it went okay. The Earthshaker died first, I believe. But then they picked up the Venge, and then a really nice support TV by the Shadow Shaman scored him a kill. And that puts him really close to Blink, actually. I don't know if he's going to rush Blink, though. He might go Arcanes first. We'll see. This could be a dead Tinker.
Yeah, Beyond TP's in. This should be an Assassinate for a kill.
Nope.
Not there.
He bottles through it, so I think it does about 2... Oh, he's actually got a level 2 assassin. He might have been able to get him there.
That would have... Yeah, that was close. I'm a little surprised he canceled that so quickly, but in comes the charge from Spirit Breaker. Fissure stops him dead in his tracks. Now the mech, another strike across the river. This is risky from your Space Cow. He'll get chopped up. They turn him into hamburgers. 1-for-0. Wheel get the kill. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Pat's still being harassed by Sleesel. No kill comes out, but still pushing that Spectre back. Brood going for Phase Boots Yasha, so more of a carry kind of right-clicker Arachnid. You don't see this build nearly as much. Phase Boots especially. See some Broods not even get boots altogether.
Yeah, if you don't get boots, you're actually about 500 movement speed when you're on the web, so you kind of don't need it, but as soon as you get off the web, you're absolutely crawling, so it's kind of a nice adjustment here. And if he does get slowed, the Phase Boots will help compensate for that. Not that they really have any slows, so I don't know. It's more of a... a safer build. If you get the Manta, you can get rid of dust and things like that. So rather than focus on killing the heroes, which he really can't, he'd rather just focus on building hard carry items, I guess. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if I've actually seen a game where a Brood has done a build like this, a Manta first item after Hand of Midas. I guess it does kill two birds with one stone. Great for split push, and also good for just a more right-click oriented kind of carry style.
It's poor Venge, man.
Pat Soul's got a relic, though. Now we'll see Sleesel go right in on him. Insatiable Hunger deployed. Gets him down to about 2/3 HP, then focuses on the creep wave.
That's the
Radiance on the way.
Oh, is it actually done, or are you just saying it's close?
No,
oh,
it's close.
Okay.
Yeah, it's about 1,000 gold.
Yeah, pretty close. And here comes the push finally out of the Radiant team. They're going to drop wards most likely on the tower. Shadow Shaman's still saving his money, so he's definitely going to be making a Blink Dagger if he can. If he, stays alive and doesn't die. There's the wards going down. So there's some damage on the tower. Mech to keep the creep wave alive for just a bit, but the March is going to kill it. There's the Glyph as well, and they're kind of set up to defend this. Here comes the charge.
They may hope for a deny. This tower's going down either way, though. Razor tanks a few shots. They cancel the charge.
Let's go on
Give
the top
last
lane.
hit to Sniper. Oh, he's okay. Goes up top.
Yeah, I think they were like, you know what, this is kind of hard to defend. Here's the Venge TPing as well. They're going to try to do a setup here. It's going to be hard. His positioning's really close. Yeah, there's no way he gets killed here, because by the time the Spirit Breaker initiates, everybody's just way out of position.
He'll be fine.
I think he just, felt something was wrong, maybe. I'm not sure. I don't think they had vision. Unless you don't get vision in the website.
He didn't see it coming
right?
super far away, but he had some spiders here.
See that? He even put the sentry down. He was like, all right, that guy obviously had a ward. He backed at the perfect time. I think he just got a bit lucky there. I don't remember if you can see in webs if nobody's there. I don't think so. I mean, if you just take a look at Radiant Vision and into the jungle here, they see nothing. Okay.
So.
Yeah, I don't think you could. So I think he just backed at the perfect time there, felt a little unsafe.
Good game sense.
Maybe saw that, wow, they didn't defend the bot lane. Where the heck are they? They're probably ganking me. So that's probably what his thought pattern was there.
Yeah. All right, Pat Soul trying to close in on this Radiance. They're going to bait him out. Sleesel and Tolerant come in. Pat Soul getting low. They'll try to turn it around, but Pat Soul goes down first. Now Tinker TP's in. It's a dead Shadow Shaman. Dust comes out onto Sleesel. The reaction is there. I think they wanted to bait out that Spectre from the get-go, just underestimating how much burst damage he would take, especially with that Vanguard. Broodmother gets a killing spree streak, even though it is a 2-for-1 trade.
Yeah, they actually lost a lot of gold advantage there. That was about 1,400 swing. But they killed the Spectre and they delayed his Radiance. So if you think about how much that would impact the game in the long run, like it'll increase, it'll delay. It's like forcing Spectre to get a later Midas. So the gold advantage that he would have gotten from not dying there might actually pay off in the long run. Especially because, if he's against a Shadow Shaman, if he has a Radiance at 19 minutes and then just ultis, that Shadow Shaman actually loses half of his HP. And the Earthshaker's in a similar case. They have less than 1,000, so delaying that might not be too bad. It wasn't good, obviously, that they died, but it's not the worst thing, I don't think.
Well, they've got a big enough golden experience lead that they can afford to take a couple of plays like that. If, like you said, it does mean crippling the carry, at least to some degree. It does make a noticeable dent, though, now down to about 7,000 net worth and 5,000 experience lead. Whoa, Shaker, he's slam jamming in the jungle. That's a dunk on a neutral stack, so he's just trying to farm up himself. Maybe get towards that soul ring. He's still pretty broke.
I don't think that's that bad. It's kind of hard to use Echo Slam in the early game if you're nowhere close to a blink, especially against all the super scary dive heroes they have, like Venge, Puck with Spirit Breaker. It's all pretty tough for him, so just getting a blink is really important for him. So just getting a couple stacks there a little bit faster is not the worst. I think that's okay, honestly. Especially this early. The chances of him using an Echo Slam in the next 2 minutes are possible, but not super high likelihood. It's not like dropping bigger ulti. I think it's alright.
Blink Dagger up on Beyond's Tinker. There's your Radiance coming out on the Spectre, and we didn't mention it, but about a minute and a half ago, Puck picked up a Recovery Midas. So Blink Dagger, brown boots, but now buckling down for that late game.
Money and spiders, man.
Yep.
So the coolest thing about the Midas in this case is it's maybe not as... It's obviously great that it gives you gold, but the levels are also really nice. Getting to 4 levels of phase shift is extremely important, especially against a Broodmother. I mean, if a Broodmother puts spiders on you, he can just keep hitting you, and eventually he's going to put you down while the Radiance is already done. That gank really did nothing there.
Invisible Sniper.
Oh, Sniper. Oh, wait. That's his sentry? No, it's not his sentry, actually.
No, it's a dire sentry. Pat Soul
doesn't get spotted.
Yeah, not going to be in the right place, but it's a smoke rotation now from the Voidboys. Sniper does TP out, and now it's Wheel moving into the Roche pit. They'll drop Serpent wards for this, and looks like this will go down uncontested. They're busy focusing on the Broodmother.
This is a really good gank timing for them. They're going to lose Brood, obviously, but they push out the mid lane really, really far there. Is he going to go down? Oh, he might. Oh! Is he going to live? Oh, this is so close to earn damage. Oh, the Radiance Burn. Yep, he spec ults to do it just to guarantee, but that also reveals that they're in Roshan. This is really dangerous. In fact, the Earthshaker's gonna die. Oh my gosh, they got so lucky here.
Oh my, what started as a really big play from the Broodmother forced out the Spectre ult. Then all of a sudden, that forces a kill onto the Earthshaker. Now Roche about to get sniped by the Dire. Spectre comes on in. Rost Awards expiring.
So unlucky. But, you know, Brood thought he could live, you know, so he tried to force it out. They used the Haunt, and that revealed it. And now they're going to have a fight for Roche. This could still go their way. They lost 2 heroes, obviously, but they're kind of respawning soon. Razor's kind of low mana. No mech. Can't really use that much. But Patsoul also realizes Spectre not the best Roche hero.
Yeah, they don't have great damage here. No minus armor. Assassinate brings the low. Shrapnel flying over. Spectre's dead.
So, good thing Brood almost lived, I guess.
It's starting to look a little better for Wheel. It was great, then bad, and now it's on its way back up. A roller coaster of a Roche engagement.
Yeah.
Roche still very low on HP at about 25%. Voidboys will back up for now.
That's a good example of forcing an error out of your opponents that they normally wouldn't make. Voidboys said, wow, we just got lucky. Holy crap, we can steal Roche. It's so low on HP, but it was just a Spectre. I mean, they don't have very good Roche heroes, except for the fact that they have Avenge, obviously. But they don't have a huge amount of physical damage. Spec is more of an AoE hero, so there's going to be more engagement down here. We'll see if they get it. They drop the Observer Ward down. They'll spot the Venge.
Well, in come the BOTs from Tinker. Remember, there's no Haunt, and that's a dead Roche. Broodmother, the one to grab the Aegis, and it'll go down basically uncontested.
Yeah. That was... I think that was worth it.
Yeah.
They lost... Who did they lose? Again, Earthshaker?
Earthshaker
got killed.
Yep.
They lost the Broodmother, but they got the Spec, and they still secured Roche. That's not bad at all. So, I don't know. Not too bad. Good recovery there.
Yeah. At the very least, I think an even trade, if not in their advantage. So, Sniper, he does not go the Mask of Madness build this game. Something else worth mentioning. Just the casual Morbid Mask, S&Y, and now the newly fashioned Maelstrom makes a showing in his inventory.
It's just too scary to get a Mask of Madness against these kind of heroes. If you're playing against normal heroes that don't have good dive, yeah, definitely Mask of Madness every game. But a puck can easily get on top of you. A Spirit Breaker is going to charge right in. Spectre definitely is going to jump on top of you. And Mask of Madness, it increases your DPS, but if you're going just one-on-one with an enemy carry and he's not going to die before you, which Spectre definitely isn't, then you can't go Mask of Madness. So he might get it later, but I think he's just grabbing the Morbid Mask to be able to keep his HP up. So he can't afford to get Mask of Madness. It just would make him too likely to die in teamfights.
Bottom tier 1 tower taking a lot of pressure. They do glyph it, looking for the deny. Oh, Razor, you're in deep. Does he have any friends nearby? Well, he's got a sniper in the tree line. He'll mech, but now the Haunt comes out. They're actually doing a lot of damage. The Razor's still alive. He's winning the man fight for now. It's Patsoul versus Relic. Who's going to win? Well, Patsoul cheated. He's got a Fairy Dragon nearby. It'll be a 2-for-2 trade, but Wheel lose both of their cores.
It's a perfect example there. Like, you can't beat a Spectre in a 1v1 situation when he's got a Vanguard and a Radiance and you're a sniper. I mean,
I think he would have won if the puck wasn't there to finish him off. It would have been really close.
Yeah, I don't think so. It was real close though. I think it would have been stupidly close if the puck wasn't there, but I think he was still going to lose that fight. Oh, Earthshaker is going to drop a dunk because he says I'm dead anyways. He doesn't have a TP. There's essentially no way that he can get away, and there it is, the missiles. So.
They drop Rost Awards up in the top lane to try and bring down this tower, but Patsoul comes in with his Yasha, and he's going to get some free farm out of this. Meanwhile, in the jungle, they find 3-2-2 with the Shackles. Puck goes down, but now the charge, they don't even need it to bring down Talera. Sleesel could be in some trouble here. Charge goes onto a Spiderling.
Mistake. I think it was because he manted, though, actually. Maybe it's because he manted. So
no, it's because he charged the Shadow Shaman, then he died.
Oh,
so
I see.
It went on to the Spider.
I see.
It was just, I mean, it was a pretty low chance it goes onto the Brood. But.
Yo, that's the Spirit Breaker counter. Just have so many spiders that after he charges one guy.
It's true. I mean, in that kind of a situation, it does work when there's a lot of units there. The charge is still going through, though.
He's got Aegis.
And he'll charge onto Sleesel. Yeah, there's a Dust. I don't know if this is a fight they really want to be taking. They use another strike just for the Aegis, and Sleesel could still well live. Nope, Rockets will chase him down, but the Sniper finds a pick-off onto the Spirit Breaker. Now Assassinate onto the Omega Pawner. He lives. Spiderlings get taken out by the March of the Machines.
Yeah, if the March wasn't there, the Spiders could have chased and picked off the Venge, but really nice March there from the Tinker. It's a good way to protect yourself against Spiderlings because the AoE damage is so high. And it's pretty tough to keep your Spiders spread out at the moment, so that was pretty cool. So what does Sniper build here to counter the Spectre? That's the real question. I think a lot of cases you get minus armor, but he's already got a Maelstrom, so Desolator isn't really the right build, and Maelstrom on average does way more damage anyways, especially in an AoE circumstance.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe even a Mjolnir would be good. You can Mjolnir buff yourself. It'll proc on the Radiance Burn. It'll proc on the right clicks from Spectre. I think that's maybe the best way to reflect more damage, because he needs to be as strong as possible in a 1v1 fight, and that's not really where Sniper excels.
Yeah, I do like Scotty on Sniper against the Spectre, just so you have some nice raw HP, so he can't bring you down as quickly, and also gives you some kiting potential if there's support inbound.
If Spectre gets away from you, Sniper would wreck him if he had a Scotty, but I feel like he needs a better way to just win the 1v1 fight. I don't know. Maybe he's gonna have to get an MKB or something like that. I'm not sure. Satanic?
Yeah, Satanic. There you go. That is a good way to win a 1v1 duel.
Sniper never builds Satanic, though.
I know. I've never seen it, but if you're talking about just squaring up against somebody, it is one hell of an option.
That's probably the way to go, but I don't think that's the right item build.
Midas gaming continues here, Purge. We've got 4 Midas in this game as Venge picks one up at the 26-minute mark. Now, I'm going to be honest. I don't know that I've ever seen a Midas on a Venge before. This is a really rare one.
Yeah,
you'll see it on Phoenix, various other supports like Ancient Apparition, but never the Venge.
Heroes that have a lot of trouble farming will very often, but also need an item like an Eggs, will very often buy a Midas. But Venge isn't really like that. The hero can actually farm decently fast if you buy Treads. But in this case, he just gets the Midas. Again, he gets levels, he gets experience, and they're aiming to just win late game, and they can definitely do that. That's why they're buying the Midases. It's because they have a Tinker. If the Tinker plays correctly, and he did go Bloodstone, by the way, so he should be up most of the time, he just has to spam March, and the enemy team can't push towers. And if you look at their lineup, their late game is a Sniper, a Razor, who is more of a mid-level carry, not a super hard carry, and a Brood who definitely peaks off a little bit. So it's going to be kind of hard.
BKB is up on the Brood, by the way. I don't know that we mentioned that, but 10 seconds ready to rock and roll. And here we go. Charge in onto Tolara. There's your haunt from the Spectre. They go right for the Shadow Shaman. They bring him down straight away. Derp gets off a dunk, but does minimal damage. He goes down second. BKB from Sleesel almost finishes off Beyond, but no way to stop the TP. Sniper gets a pick on the puck in the mid lane, but it's Sleesel who's on the run. Insatiable Hunger's online, but the charge revealing him. Can they bring him down? They're low on detection, and I think he might survive at this point. Unless he stays around in the March a bit too long.
Oh, he ran back into the sentry. He's gonna die.
No, Sleesel, you had it.
Oh, what a mistake.
Yeah,
that's really unfortunate. How do they have vision of those guys? Do they have a ward up here? I don't think so. These look like both Dire wards.
Dire have a ward up on the high ground here.
They charged the Shadow Shaman. They went right on him, and he just blew up. And that's the issue with Radiance, and a charge. If you don't see it coming and you don't stop the Spirit Breaker, you're just dead. Yeah,
well, it's like you said, Spectre can do at least half his health by himself with just an ultimate. So if you have one other skill on him, another strike, or even just a couple of auto attacks with the Spirit Breaker, and he gets a bash, you might be able to find it. Beyond will TP out as Sniper does some damage. Channels out the Assassinate, but wouldn't have been enough for the kill anyhow.
Yeah.
So,
well, Shadow Shaman's got a hard game from here on out. He played really well in the early game, I think, but there's not a whole lot he can do at this point, honestly. If he gets initiated on, he's dead. If he's by himself and Spectre jumps on him solo, he's dead. He can't stop a Spectre, really. So, and even like Tinker is a huge threat. Look at this. He has to blink away every time he sees a missile coming, because one combo there plus a charge, Shadow Shaman just dies.
Yeah. You know, I just noticed that this Tinker does not have a soul ring. That's another little oddity here. Unless he sold it back. He just picked up that plate mail, and he did have an open slot without the soul ring.
He built it into the Bloodstone. He hasn't.
Oh my god, I'm such an idiot.
Hey, that's a reason. It's okay, Purge. Man. I got you.
I'm still not used to this Bloodstone change.
Dude, I don't build Bloodstone either.
I know. I rarely ever buy it. It's not automated for me yet, but you caught me right there. Thank you, sir.
No problem. Better me than Twitch chat, right?
Yeah, well, they'll still catch it too, don't you worry. But hey, we've got a third Midas, so buckle down, get that seatbelt ready, because farm is going to be the name of the game for these Dire supports. It's Spirit Breaker now.
Okay.
He's picked one up.
I kind of like that on Spirit Breaker. I think Spirit Breaker is kind of a crappy farming hero. He doesn't farm very rapidly. His base attack, his VAT, is actually terrible. It's one of the worst in the game. Did you know that? I was looking at mechanics the other day, and it was terrible. Probably because, think about it, if he had a really good BAT, he would attack stupidly fast, and he would just perma-bash you.
That's true. By like level 16, you could just get Assault Cuirass and be disgusting.
Because he's already got guaranteed stuns. If he also had super good potential for RNG, like a troll, like, oh my god, it would be horrible to play against Spirit Breaker. So he's got terrible BAT, which means that attack speed doesn't scale very well for him. But basically, he doesn't attack very rapidly. He doesn't have any farming skills. He's not going to accrue items very fast, except for Midas. So this is the BKB.
Okay, and, so minor victory there for Voidboys.
Charge down.
Yeah, that's a 9-second charge. And they don't really commit much for it, just a charge on the Spirit Breaker, some Arching Machine. So good trade of cooldowns.
Yeah, definitely good for them. So that's one less second on the BKB. And once you get down to the 7-second mark and below, BKB is just not that amazing of an item. It really runs out so fast. The gank on Spectre, will he be able to escape? He can haunt here, but he's getting slowed. I think he's going to be okay. Oh, now with Shadow Shaman, the Hex, and the Disables, he will go down. Big gank there. And Spirit Breaker.
It's going to be a bit disastrous for this Radiant side. Now Beyond comes in. Relic will be stuck in place thanks to that Dream Coil, returning a lot of damage with the Mjolnir. There's the aggressive swap. Omega Pawner in some trouble. Puck flies across, brings down the Sniper. It'll cost him the Venge. Now Sleesel looking to play cleanup. Can't find anyone. Puck goes one way. Tinker TP's the other. And it'll be a 3-for-3, a pretty even exchange in terms of heroes down, but the Voidboys take a nice net worth gain out of it of about 1,000.
Yeah, that was really close. Sniper very easily could have maybe gotten one or two more kills out of that, but that was really tough for him to deal with. The Observer Ward gave decent vision of the team fight, but it was mostly in the trees. Another kill top.
Yeah, Beyond and Derp kind of just duking it out there, and now Tinker. Simply Foot just has more damage.
Yeah, and he's really survivable here too. He's got a plate mail and he has a bloodstone, so Earthshaker, there's no way that Earthshaker can kill him now unless he has a stupidly large clump of units there. So good attempt at a team fight there from Wheels on the mid lane, but the Sniper didn't quite have the survivability. He's bought a BKB sense, which is really smart, so now anytime he takes damage, he can reflect a little bit more, but at least he doesn't have to worry about Spirit Breaker damage. None of Spirit Breaker's damage goes through Magic Immunity, just the stuns do. He doesn't have to worry about Puck. He doesn't have to worry about Venge. He doesn't have to worry about Radiance. He doesn't have to worry about Tinker. None of this damage is going to touch him once he gets a BKB, but he will be a bit limited on DPS output because of the BKB purchase. But it doesn't matter because his net worth is the highest. Yeah, it is. So he should be okay. This is a good purchase, I think. It basically stops all the annoying stuff that Voidboys has to deal with him, other than physical damage. But that's not really what VB has. It's mostly Desolate and Magic.
Yeah. And now the Brood Mother moves into her next item. She's picked up a BKB also down to 8 seconds, but it's a Skull Basher sitting in the inventory, or sitting in the bank back at home. So maybe an Abyssal Blade to come online at some point, cut through the potential BKBs of the Dire. Looks like Puck could be working on one, maybe the beginning of an Aghanims. But
the Skull Basher will be really good against the Tinker as well, because at the moment Tinker can just TP away if Brood ever goes on him. And in addition to that, he can't really stop rearm. So there's actually so many ways that the Tinker can deal with the Brood right now. He needs a way to stop either rearm or a TP. So Basher is going to accomplish that, hopefully. I mean, he might not catch rearm. Rearm's a pretty low duration at level 3, but it's something that he needs. He's got decent damage here. He's got magic immunity. Now he just needs some utility lockdown. The slow's not going to be enough. So, and even against the Puck, another good example of a hero that's kind of evasive. So I don't know. It'll help a little bit, but again, Brood isn't the best carry. So his build is seen as super out of date. The Midas and Manta. This is like a build that's 2 years old, but like we said before, the Orchid wasn't that amazing at shutting down specs, so he went DPS. I think that's why he did. I could be completely wrong.
I mean, I think it's a fair assumption. It's been Orchid or Necronomicon in pretty much all of the Brood games I've seen for the most part. It's been fairly hit or miss. What we saw or played, some in the last season of Star Ladder, some at DAC, and it was usually about the split pushing or the very clear sort of lockdown style. And it is interesting to see this old school kind of way come about, and it can still be difficult to deal with. I mean, Insatiable Hunger is one hell of an ability.
It really is not bad at all. It's 100 damage, 100% lifesteal. The cooldown's really low.
Yeah.
So
it's like,
you can...
What, 30% uptime? It's pretty solid.
Yeah, it's not bad. If Brood's agility gain was maybe a bit better, it's only 2.2. It's actually lower than her strength gain. If her agility gain was a bit better, this hero would be really dangerous, I feel. But, you know, that would make... She's already so good at doing very different things than carrying, so...
Yeah.
You know, it's completely balanced, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think she's already plenty strong.
Yeah. The Dagon build probably synergizes a lot better, but they definitely needed more carry potential this game because of the Tinker. That's also probably why he went carry, because they knew that Tinker could easily stop the push there. He's never going to take racks with the spiders, because one March to the Machines kills it, so...
I think the Dagon build is one of the more difficult to pull off. It can work really well in certain games, but it's very one-dimensional. It's very all-in-y in terms of you have to get kills with it. If you get a Dagon and then they stay grouped up, there isn't really anybody who's easy to pick off, or if it's just a rather tanky team. It's not an every game kind of thing. Bulba did it just the other day in the Summit Phase 1 America qualifiers, and it was kind of a disaster. He got up to Dagon 5, only picked up like 3 kills with it total, 4 kills or so, before it was capped out at 5, and then it turned into 5-man Dota, and At that point, you can't split push. You're not really a threat in the lanes because all you have is a Dagon, and everyone's tanky enough that you can't just blow them up. So
yeah, if you don't keep getting kills with Dagon, it's actually a terrible item because you spend like what?
Really
it's about
expensive.
5,000 gold to go from Dagon 1 to Dagon 5. That could be a sheep stick. Like, why would you get a Dagon 5 when you could get a Dagon 1 and a sheep stick unless you're getting a stupid amount of kills if you only need that little burst advantage to shut somebody out in the beginning of the fight. So it's really dangerous to go that unless you're playing like Bounty Hunter or something. So even for Brood, it's something that's...
But we all know how potent it can be, though. I still, every time I see that picked up, I have flashbacks to DAC and that secret Cloud9 elimination match when Zai picked up the Dagon and just hunted Envy's sniper in the jungle.
I didn't see that game.
Cool, it was like, I remember watching it in the hotel at like 1 in the morning, last game of the night. Envy goes Mask of Madness sniper, and Zai's like, all right, I'm going Dagon, boys, and he just spends the entire game in the enemy's jungle looking for the sniper, and once he got the E-Blade, it was find the sniper, one-hit kill.
Yeah, because then you're taking 30% bonus damage. I think that's what
it was.
Mask of Madness is at right now.
Yeah, 30%, and then plus the... Oh, it was gross.
Yeah, 30%.
Zai makes it look easy, but I'm sure it's...
It's like basically, if you use Mask of Madness, it's like you already have an E-Blade.
Yeah.
So, a little dangerous for them.
Yeah. So, all right, Razor having some connection issues here, folks.
It's probably fine. He's got good items, too. Ags with a mech. He's got a cloak. Hand of Midas. He hasn't gotten a BKB. A little surprising on that.
He does have a lot of gold, though.
I feel like BKB would do him a really good service here, because he's definitely going to get a refresher at some point, right? So, if he gets a BKB, at some point he'll have refresher and BKB, so you can BKB twice, which is not... I mean, it'll burn your charges, but you're guaranteed like a 10-second BKB for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
So, as long as you have refresher. So, I like the cloak for a temporary thing. He could just sell this later. Cloak actually does give you a lot of survivability, especially if you're healing.
It's a very underrated value item, I think. You don't see it picked up that often, but...
Yeah, the survivability gain that you get is really significant, especially if you have 2,000 HP already. You're getting something equivalent to a vitality booster of survivability if you only take magic damage. So
yeah,
and it's pretty much all magic damage on the Dire team. So
yeah. And it's just so cheap. I feel like a lot of people overlook that when you sell things back, you get 50% of it back. So you think about that cost. If you use it for 40 minutes of the game before you need the inventory slot, it can really become a value pickup.
Oh, he's got boots of travel as well. I don't know if he had treads or anything before. I didn't see what his boots were.
I think he just went straight BOTs.
Oh, and he's got a Reaver now. Interesting. So he's actually not going BKB. He's just going super tanky, which I'm not sure if I agree with this.
It's brave here, Purge.
It's really brave, but you know what his purpose is? It's to tank damage so that sniper doesn't have to. So if he accomplishes that by just not buying BKB so that his opponents actually do go on him, he's going to help his team out a lot. So it's by him just building survivability items but not magic immunity, he's going to take a lot of damage and hopefully sniper won't have to take any of those nukes. He's going to get ganked though.
Smoke rotation. Yeah, they go right onto the Razor. The Tinker comes in, and there's your ultimate from Spec to boot. They'll find the kill on the Razor first, just barely, but they get it. Taller on the backside, locks down the Venture. Now the Earthshaker goes down. They kill the Shadow Shaman. Sniper manages to pick off the Spirit Breaker. Now he's BKB'd up. Can he live? It's the man fight against Pat Soul again. He's brought down the puck. He's picked up a double kill. Assassinate should be all they need to bring down the Pat Soul, and it is. Ultra kill for Relic. They ignore the sniper in the fight, and he just sits there with that 10-second BKB Mjolnir buff, and, well, he just goes ham all over this Dire side.
Really good backup there from the rest of the Radiant team. I felt like Razor was so by himself that there was no way he was going to be able to contribute there, but the extra HP completely kept him alive just long enough that Sniper could show up and just wreck everybody. I actually thought that Voidboys was going to wreck that fight because I just saw Spectre killing everybody, but Sniper showed up in time. The magic immunity made, like, guaranteed that he survived, and he got almost everybody there with the exception of Tinker, and they might be able to snake the Roche too, so this will be good. What he builds next, I'm not sure. Maybe Butterfly would be not bad. That'll force Spectre to get an MKB. I think Butterfly's pretty good here because he's definitely having survived the dive problems. If he gets a Butterfly...
I think Butterfly or Scotty are the top two that you would want to go for here.
Yeah.
Both with a lot of survivability, really both give you a lot of damage output. A little more utility in the Scotty, a little more damage in the Butterfly.
But the evasion is so good against the Spec here. Yeah. I think the Desolate still goes through if he's by himself. But the actual right-click from Spec would miss sometimes there. And that would actually help a lot versus Spirit Breaker, because if he's missing, he can't bash. So I think a Butterfly might be an option here. It's pretty rare, and you can use it occasionally for Flutter. If he doesn't have a Mask of Madness, that might be really nice, because he's actually having movement speed problems. With Phase, he's hitting about 450. If he gets Butterfly, like when he chases Spectre there, he had ult. But if he had Butterfly, he could just chase him down. So I don't know. I think a butterfly is an option here, but that or Scotty is probably where he should go. He needs a hybrid survivability damage item, definitely.
Yeah. Beyond continuing to push the side lanes here, looking towards possibly an E-Blade of his own. He's got the Ghost Scepter already. Meanwhile, on the bottom, Team Wheel, all grouped up as 5. These poor little bugs. They're past their prime.
That was like 150 gold.
Spearbreaker. He gets the top tier 1 tower. Okay. They get the tier 2 here in the bottom lane.
This is looking pretty good for them. Wheel's doing really well this game, I think. I'm really impressed by their game so far.
Yeah, but the hard part is still to come, Purge. Breaking that high ground. This is a really good high ground defense lineup. You can see the march without a pipe. Very difficult here. They try to mech through it, but it just doesn't really work. They make it through. There's a couple of creeps left alive, but now the Tinker comes back. Rasta wards come down on the high ground. Meanwhile, at the top tier 2, tower down only to about half health. And there's the glyph.
They got 4 whole spiders up there. Go spiders.
Do it, spider babies.
Alright, so they're going to do about half the tower damage, which is not that much, but it's okay. If they had a pipe, they could maybe go for this, and maybe Razor will shift back. No, he's going heart. Okay.
I do think they need a pipe, though. It's just, or they have to kill the Tinker. It's one or the other.
I think he'll build it after the heart, because he is going just full tankiness here. He's not going refresher for damage. Yeah. He's just genuinely trying to be as tanky as possible. If he gets a heart, that's 1,000 HP from the heart. And then if he gets a pipe on top of that, man, you know how much estimated HP he probably has? It's going to be ridiculous. His armor is not the highest, but again, it's mostly magic nukes. So with a pipe and 3,500 HP, he's going to be sitting really pretty.
Yeah, maybe we'll see Wheel just slow it down until they actually have enough money to pick up the pipe, because that was a pretty noble effort at that high ground. Forcing out the glyph for Rasta wards, I suppose, is a worthy trade. Still a long while until Roche comes up. Aegis is on the sniper right now. There's your Abyssal also coming out onto the Broodmother. So another huge bout of lockdown for the Radiant.
No new items for sniper yet?
Nope.
Shaker, oh, he's given up on the blink. He's like, I'm gonna get a force.
I'm going to force. I like that.
It's smart as well, though. It's not just because he's stupidly far ahead that he needs to build up. It's because if Spec ulties, he can't blink. So, in some ways, I mean, if you got to blink really early, it's better to get blink. But since he's so far behind, I think force is the right choice here. Because Spec will ult, and then he's gonna have a rough time. So he needs to try to contribute. It's a bad game for an Earthshaker, to be honest. He's like another hero. He's like Sniper. You don't want them to be able to close the gap on you. You want to be able to jump on them first to initiate. Yeah. So,
Gem picked up by Puck. They want to be able to deal with this Broodmother a little more easily in these high ground defenses. A little risky, but a good time to pick it up. Looking at Radiant wards, they don't have too many down. Actually, just 1 on the plateau between the middle and bottom lanes. So maybe they can get some more map control coming their way, or at least maintain it, I guess, is a better way to look at it.
Well, they're definitely getting ready to go high ground.
Oh, they're going to fake them out. They go mid.
Oh, that's smart, actually. If they can, they're hitting it. Nice. It doesn't have backdoor protection. He doesn't have his heart. Oh, there's the heart pickup.
And out come the Rasta wards, but there's the ultimate from the Spec. Omega Pawner goes down first. Razor going to go down second. He just melts under all the damage. Cecil, BK Beyond still in the front lines. Rasta wards not focusing the tower. Backdoor protection comes in, but the Rasta wards bring the tower down. It's a 1-for-1, but they throw away their position 1 Razor for just a support Venge. Although getting the tier 3 tower does make that trade a little...
Pretty close, actually.
Better, yeah.
That was a really good execution from Voidboys there. They did the puck ult, and they immediately swapped the Razor to get the full duration stun on that. And that's definitely a lot. Oh, he's got Aghanims too. No wonder. That was a huge stun then. I don't know what the stun duration is. Doesn't it go up? Oh, 4.5. That's such a big stun. A 4.5 second stun there on the Razor. Really nice execution there from Voidboys to defend that. If the Razor lived or survived a little bit higher there, that just would have been way different. And I don't think he even got his mech off, so yeah, that was a really good execution from Voidboys.
Yeah, we've seen this combo before. Puck Venge, you can do a lot of fun things, like swap him out of the Dream Coil, and it's a free, nearly full duration Mirana arrow. Not too shabby.
Yep, really good stuff. So Wheels now is, I guess they're going to push the lanes back out. They lost a lot of map position here. Yeah. Still no items on the Sniper just yet. He hasn't spent his money yet. Oh, he got Boots of Travel, excuse me. So no more phase. BOTs is actually a lot better for movement speed than phases. The only downside is you're losing a bit of damage, but it's only 24, and he'll make up for that with items later. And just being able to teleport to creeps as well are really important. He can teleport to spiders. There's a lot of ways that he can show up to fights that'll be useful.
At this point, the inventory slots are becoming a big problem for him. 5,600 gold. We should see his next item pickup before too long here. The mystery will be revealed as the Earthshaker completes his 4 staffs. Now he's
40-minute force.
That's what I'm talking about, baby.
But yeah, it's a rough game for an Earthshaker again. I wouldn't want to play support against a Spectre and a Tinker and a Spirit Breaker either. So I honestly don't blame these guys. Don't think these guys are really playing that bad. Just a really tough game against those heroes.
Yeah, Wheel's been holding on to this kind of stalemated lead here of about 5,000 net worth and experience. We see initiation onto Puck mid, turned into a chicken, but follow-up's not there, and Puck will just walk back to safety.
Now Shadow Shaman is farming his Ags. He's kind of close, about 1,000 gold away, and that'll really help them when they do these, not necessarily rat pushes, it's more like a brunt force. Like a bear push? I don't know what I would call it.
A bear push?
How about like a hog, like a boar, like a wild boar push? Straight up the middle.
You just right towards the base?
Yeah, and drop everything down. The Razor takes the brunt of the damage and feeds his life away, and his team takes a tower. You know, that's what they want to do here, so getting an exit on a Shadow Shaman is really important because it almost doubles the damage that your wards do. It's really good. It's like getting a refresher or a refresher.
And he's super close, only 900
really
gold,
close.
and he's there, baby.
Yeah. So he should just focus on farming most likely. He did try to set up a gank there a second ago, but they may just start the push. I mean, with the tower gone, that's really good for Brood. They're going to have to place sentries down and things like that. They could potentially go for the attempt again here. Razor doesn't have his hood yet, but he still has his heart and he's got 2k gold. So he's going to save for buyback most likely. Yeah. They definitely don't want to get raxed. I think they're definitely still in a good place where they can be aggressive because Voidboys is really peaking off in terms of damage. Spectre actually going butterfly, so this means Sniper has to get an MKB, and there it is. He's actually already got it.
There you go.
Way ahead of the curve. And that's a good damage item. He definitely needed a damage item here. And the mini stuns are great against Tinker as well because you can stop him from rearming. So really good item here that he just naturally
They're not mini stuns anymore, Purge. Come on now.
What are you talking about? No, I'm talking about MKB.
Oh, the MKB. Oh, I thought you were talking about... No, that's my bad. All right, fight's breaking out, though. And, Spirit Breaker. He gets locked down by the Abyssal. He might go down before the Nether Strike. No, still gets it off. They lose their Razor, but they trade for the Venge, and it seems like the fight that Wheel wanted. They've got a healthy Spectre. He's up on the high ground, and they're going to get barracks out of this. Backdoor protection kicking in. Oh, my.
They made out really well.
So unlucky, though. They would have had this barracks. They might still get it. There you go. Creeps come in. Whew.
See what I mean? Boar up the front. Cecil died on the Razor. Sorry, Razor died. But did you see that Force Staff payoff? That Earthshaker was super dead, and he's like, screw this, I'm out. Force Staffed out, got out. Shadow Shaman got out. Sniper got out. They lost the Razor again, but it doesn't matter because he's got a Midas. He has a lot of farm. He's super tanky. It's not like he's behind. He's not really progressing in terms of items, but he didn't lose anything there. He's actually at the gold that he was at before the push started, and they got a Rax out of it. So completely worth it. Good damage control from the supports there. That's what you do in the late game as a support. You just do your best not to die to the carry, and they accomplished that there. So despite Patsol's KDA being really good here, that was a great push for them. So they've got to be happy, and that's eggs now on Shadow Shaman. It gets easier from here on out.
Yeah, there's also a Hex now on the Tinker, though, but hey, right. And I don't normally think of MKB as an item that counters the Tinker, but you're right. That mini stun is really amazing with all the channeling that he does, kind of right up in your face as well.
Yeah. It doesn't, now the MKB mini stun doesn't go through BKB, so it won't stop Spirit Breaker popping his ulti, but that Abyssal Blade from Sleesel on the Brood there was so clutch. Like, he Abyssal Bladed him as he was about to go through with his ultimate, and he had his BKB on, so he also wasted 2 seconds of BKB, and that might have set up their carry to guarantee a kill on support, or maybe even a core, so that was really well done by Sleesel there. Good timing on that.
Alright.
And it's going to be it is a Satanic! Oh my god, yes!
Wow. I feel like I should tab out and run the stats on this. I've seen Sniper so much recently.
Yeah, he's almost got it too.
You almost never see Satanic. It's almost always Scotty or various other items to help you beef up, but this is a great man fight item, as we talked about. Pairs nicely with the MKB. Now goes on to Beyond down bottom, and they may find a kill on this Tinker. He's in big trouble. It's a 3-on-1 all of a sudden. Ghost Scepter not going to save you from that assassinate. Big damage, and that's a wicked 6 streak ended by the Sniper.
Yeah, and he's lined up perfectly. What a great item build here for the game that he's against. So if you guys want to know what to build if you're against heroes that are really good at diving, just copy what Sniper did.
Razor in a little bit of trouble, gets charged. Now the Tinker's back in the action. Remember, he's got a Bloodstone with a lot of charges. Turns him into a piggy, but he might still live. Razor's alive for now. There's your ultimate from the Spectre. Charge across with the Spirit Breaker. Finds the kill. Dunk from Derp Derp. Not going to do enough. He'll lose his life. Although Relic's still alive, brings down the Spirit Breaker. He's on the run now. Rasta wards even come down. It's a good fight for the Voidboys. They end the Sniper's spree, and now they go for the Shadow Shaman. It will be a full 5-man wipe as Wheel get completely cleaned up and caught unaware in their own jungle.
That did not need to happen. That could have been a Razor dying by himself, and I think it should have been like that. Like, I mean, things turned out where the Razor super tanked in 1 or 2 other ganks, but we're so late now and the damage is so high from Voidboys that them keeping them alive was just so unlikely there. So, I don't know. They didn't save the Razor. He almost got out. But again, the Spectre ult guaranteed the kill, so I don't know.
That is a pretty big turn of events. If you look at this graph, it's been Wheel consistently ahead, and this baby's going to update soon, and you'll see the Voidboys jump way in the lead
that
here.
EXP
I think experience has already jumped into their favor. Ross the Ward's on cooldown for another minute. This will be a Roche going the way of the Dire, I think. They've still got a pretty long window. Several buybacks available, but doesn't seem like Wheel are interested in that. They'll save them, and that's Aegis cheese for the Dire.
Well, they just have to kill the core heroes first. It should be probably... I would probably say kite the Spectre and kill Venge, Puck, and Tinker first, and do your best to kite the Spirit Breaker. And you have to kill those supports first, and Wheels weren't able to do that in the last fight. It was more like constantly running away from Voidboys.
It almost felt like they just forgot Tinker had like 20 Bloodstone charges.
Was that the issue? Did he just hex a lot? I'm sure that happened.
Well, he revived like instantly. So they killed him, and then it's, oh, Tinker's dead, we're safe. And then he was back literally instantly, TP'd
so
mid, and that's what set up that fight. Yeah, they ganked him down bottom right before that, remember?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
The sniper killed him, they assassinated him. He's back in like 2 seconds, goes mid, sets up the kill, and they're like, wait a second. Oh, Tinker. I mean, even after that death, look at it. He still has 17 Bloodstone charges.
Yeah, the hero's really good at being not dead when you buy Bloodstone, because you can suicide and then rearm it if you really want to. Like,
yep,
it's the annoying things that you can do with Tinker is pretty crazy, but he is being played very differently lately. A lot of Shivas with Bloodstone. In the past, it was always blink into Dagon and then just get as many kills as you can. Now it's more like, well, before we used to farm for 20 minutes and buy damage items. Now we're going to farm for 40 minutes and then buy damage items.
Yeah.
So, a little different, but it still works really well. And he's got stupidly strong items, and even if he dies, he respawns fast now. So, Bloodstone's really good.
Now Mr. Pat Soul's got his next big item. That's a Heart of Tarrasque to round things out with his Butterfly.
That's tough.
Up to nearly 3k HP, and huge item on Spectre. Now that Dispersion dishing out a bit more, but at the same time, your Satanic is completed on Relic Sniper. So these carries are getting big.
I don't know if you can win a 1v1 against Spec anymore.
Really? Even with the Satanic? I don't know. I'm actually not sure.
If he goes in melee range and snipers by himself and he mantas, I think the sniper will definitely lose.
Okay.
Because killing the illusions is almost impossible for him.
Yeah, that's true.
They have so much HP. It's going to be really tough here. I don't know. I like Sniper's build. I think it's the right build for the situation, but...
Sleesel. Oh, no. There's a gem on the puck. He BKBs, but he breaks the tether. That's Aghanim's upgraded, buddy. A long-duration stun. Sets up the kill, and it's Pat Soul that gets credit for that one.
Yeah, and the Midas on Vengeful Spirit really paying off here because he had a level 3 swap, which guarantees a better chance to get the correct swap duration, or swap range, excuse me.
1200 range, wow.
It's really big, yeah. So, and he definitely needs a mobility item next. A Blink or a Force would be really good, but he just has the Ghost Scepter for now to hope keep him alive versus the Broodmother. So,
Tolera, okay, he'll TP out. Thought they were going to pursue him here. Puck definitely could have found a pickoff. Puck is still carrying this gem as well. Hasn't lost it yet. Bought it and still hanging on to it.
Yeah, hero doesn't die very much. It's pretty tough. Especially when Wheel doesn't have that many disables. That's really just what Shadow Shaman's dealing with. So killing Puck is very difficult this game. That was a brand new ward. What a shame.
Destined to die. Now they'll push this tier 2 tower mid. 2 outer towers still remaining for the Radiant. Remember, they are 1 lane of barracks up. They pushed that bottom lane of barracks, but now feels like an eon ago. Get the tier 2 mid, and I don't know, do Voidboys really pursue here? I guess with the Broodmother down, they want at least the option of trying to force a buyback.
Yeah, they should definitely wait, I think.
Yeah, they don't seem very dedicated to the cause here. They will just back up.
Brood, what does Brood build next? I almost feel like he needs even a Blink or something would be good to escape some of these dangerous situations or initiate on the right hero. I don't know. It's kind of a very tough game. The supports on Wheels aren't going to scale very much past this. I don't believe. Oh, it is going to be a BKB finally for Razor. He didn't go for the pipe. I don't think I like that actually at all, because think about what he's dealing with. There's a lot of magic damage by all means, but they've got a Puck with eggs, so
I guess
if he gets ultied and swapped, he's stunned no matter what.
It looks like
BKB's not going to do anything.
Earthshaker that's going for the eggs or the pipe, perhaps. He has a cloak, maybe just a casual cloak.
He's had that a long time. I don't think it's going to be him.
Okay.
I don't know.
A pipe is going to be good no matter who gets it this game, but Just Razor was the only one farming that could really pick it up, where Brood needs other items, Sniper needs other items.
I don't know. BKB does reduce a lot of the damage that Spec does to him in a 1v1 because it stops the Desolate damage and the third one Dispersion, so I don't know. It's a hard question, especially at this point in the game where it's not as much about tanking, it's more about just staying alive to do damage. Maybe BKB is the best choice.
Here we go. Voidboys grouped up in the bottom lane. Radiant have a glyph, but they've already taken half damage on this tier 3. Derp, force staff in. Thinking about the dunk. No, won't go for it yet. Assassinate onto the Omega Pawner. Venge getting squished up a bit. Now 3-2-2 blinks in. Loses a little bit of damage, but will break it. Okay, she doesn't lose any damage.
She's got an E-Blade too. Let's see what she does with that.
Yep. So they do good damage to this tier 3 tower. And Voidboys will back out and reset things a little bit in the mid lane. Talera and Beyond going at it. Talera going for a little bit of backdoor rat play. He'll get caught out, and yeah, Beyond's going to find a solo kill.
If he was able to get the Hex off, he easily could have lived, but he didn't get the... Oh, he actually didn't have a TP yet, so I guess his chances of surviving were quite low, but...
Well, now they are in some trouble. There is not a buyback on this Shadow Shaman.
Yeah.
And they're going to have to defend 5v4.
There's a E-Blade, Hex, Shivas. So I guess
double E-Blade.
That's Tinker 6 slotted, I suppose. He's not going to go Dagon, actually. I'm surprised he went E-Blade over Dagon, but...
Oh, here we go. Long range swap to get things started. Abyssal comes out onto the Spirit Breaker, but he's still alive. They're focusing down the Sniper. He'll go down, as will the Spirit Breaker. Fast 1-for-1, but now it's Wheel on the back foot. Or is it actually? It seemed like it was, but now they turn it around on the Venge. Buyback from the Spirit Breaker. And they're going to leave the base here. It's not even just about the defense, but it's about the fight thereafter. Beyond takes an Assassinate with the Ghost Scepter on. Now he's dangerously low, gets slowed down, takes a headshot, and he'll be cleaned up as well. Buybacks use that fight. One on the Sniper, one on the Spirit Breaker. Surprisingly even trade. It'll actually be Wheel that get the net worth advantage.
Yeah, that went really well for them. I'm not completely sure why. Probably because it looked like it took a really long time for Sniper to die there, actually. He survived for quite a long time. It was a good initiation on him. I thought he may even be able to come back with the Satanic, but I think the main thing was that Razor just did a lot of damage in that fight. He really did. He picked off the Venge by himself and nuked the wave pretty rapidly. Killed Illusions, got a lot of minus armor stacks because of Eye of the Storm. Like, the longer that Razor's in a team fight, the more damage your whole team does, so...
Yeah.
I'm sure he helped out a lot. Chase on top, might see a kill on the Tinker. No, of course, he's going to use that Blink Dagger ability.
Now charge on to Talera. I think he'll get away. Has a Blink Dagger, should be able to make it back to friendly territory here.
Already,
yeah, it gets cancelled.
Yeah.
Rockets still hit him, though. Make sure he is definitely destined for the well.
So, the buybacks in that fight were Spirit Breaker and Sniper, actually. So, Sniper doesn't have buyback anymore, but he doesn't need money anyways, so it's not a big deal. The only downside is that when he dies next, it's going to be a really long duration. It's almost times like these where I'm like, don't you want to just kill yourself to neutrals? That way your cooldown is low when the next fight happens or something. I don't know.
I wonder if there's ever a time we'll see that strategy employed, because I've had a similar thought where I think this is...
I guess, like, you win a team fight, or let's say you win a team fight, but just barely enough, so you feed yourself. That way when the actual 5v5 happens, when they all respawn, you're going to have a 70-second cooldown, whereas... instead of like a 110.
Oh, they find the Tinker. They interrupt him as he's just about to head towards home.
The E-Blade to buy him some time. There's the Hex. Good Hex there. E-Blade again. There's the Shivas, Missiles,
He's got support coming in, though.
That's it.
There's your ultimate. They still bring down Beyond, but can they turn this around? Earthshaker falls on the backside. And Sniper, he'll stay alive. Everyone else retreats. That's it. Okay. Tinker for Earthshaker. Hell yeah.
Oh, wait. Bloodstone. Oh well. Well, he'll be back up, but they did get some gold from it, so, you know, now that Sniper has an extra 1,000 gold, I would even maybe sell your Sanjin Yasha. Maybe sell Sanjin Yasha. It's not a very good late game item.
So what do you upgrade to? Just a Butterfly here, probably?
Butterfly is going to be better. It gives way more DPS,
Ooh.
I'm sure.
Refresher Spectre. This is the final 6 slot.
Spec's not going to get an MKB, so if he gets a Butterfly... he's going to be, again, really good against Spirit Breaker. I think he should get a Butterfly at some point. Now it's not the time because he should still save for buyback, but if he gets a Butterfly instead of Sanjin Yasha, it'll be good, I think.
All right, Rasta Wards come down on the high ground. Glyph will come out simultaneously. Wheel moving on in with the ultimate on. Eye of the Storm, clearing out the creeps. They do take out the Rasta Wards very quickly. Tinker already back up, and they will be repelled. There you go, ultimate from Spec. What do they do? Who does he reality to? Charge in. Who's the focus target here? Looks like Talera going to be charged around the backside. He'll go down. Now on the other side of the fight, Sleesel isolated by the Dream Coil. They finally bring down the Sniper. Now the Razor locked in place. He's going to fall as well. Wheel getting completely cleaned up as Sleesel, one of few left behind. and nowhere to go as he gets E-bladed. Huge magic damage coming his way. And
no gem. Oh, is he going to die AoE? Oh, they're actually guessing where he is. Oh. They're guessing. Oh my god.
They found it. Okay.
I don't think they had detection, right?
What happened to the gem? Puck was carrying it.
Dried. Did Puck have one?
Puck had one for a long while.
I saw a gem drop when the Shadow Shaman died, way over in the west. Yeah, there's one way over there.
Oh, maybe he stole it at the end of that last fight.
It just wasn't there.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, they didn't have it. They just lucked out and killed Sleesel there. But he only had one net, so they knew he was somewhere in there, and they just guessed where it was. So
still a huge gain from Voidboys now, and they're really pulling into the lead here. These last few fights have gone their way.
It's a bit of a late Satanic from Sniper, actually. He used it right before he died, but I think he must not have done a big damage with his first hit or something. It's another issue with not having like a crit or something like that. Lifesteal doesn't benefit you as much, especially if you're trying to lifesteal from an enemy carry. Enemy carries usually have a lot of resistance, and you only lifesteal on the damage that you do, so you lifesteal a lot better when killing their supports. So Satanic characters carries.
Oh, derp. There used to be an Earthshaker there. He gets brought down quick. 4 dead. This is scary.
Is this it? Well, they're going to get Raxed here, I think, for sure.
No buyback on the Sniper. There is one on the Brood as well as the Razor, but they're holding him for now. Tolara caught by a Yules. He's going to turn into a Piggy, and he's dead. All 5 heroes down, and it looks like Voidboys may have actually turned this one around.
That's 2 mistakes that they really needed to not make here, because their cores were already dead, and the supports just being dead guarantees a double Rax. Whereas before, they might have been able to fight here with this Razor being up. They could have had 3 heroes in the base. They maybe could have defended this, but it guarantees a 2 Rax, maybe even a triple Rax.
Okay, not game quite yet, but some crippling damage done to Wheel and
whiff on the Dream Coil.
Okay, they could back.
So they're out.
Yep, there you go. You're right. It's a whiff. Still 2 lanes of barracks, more than leveled this game out, now taking advantage for themselves. They still have a Cheese, but no Aegis. Cheese is on the Spirit Breaker. And Roche is actually respawned. So maybe they can just move in here and take it for themselves once more.
Will? Man.
Dagon Puck, okay.
That's a good choice. If they initiate on Sniper or something, a bit of burst damage is definitely good. In the late game, Dagon 5 for an item is obviously great if you're already 5 slotted.
Right into a Dagon 4 after E-Blade. It's really increasing his solo kill
potential. That's actually the scary part, yeah. Dagon 5 is a good item if you have a ton of gold. If you have an E-Blade, then Dagon 5 is just all around a solid item because you're just getting that extra value from it, so...
Ooh, spiders, they go down. Puck gets a little bit extra gold, and Roche falls so fast. Minus armor from the Venge makes it easy. Wheel starting to rotate over, but they're going to get here too late. They're smoked up. They'll reveal their presence, and they'll actually try to take a fight, it looks like. Fissure to get things started. Sleesel goes charging in. They're focusing the Spirit Breaker, but he's got a Cheese. Aegis. Oh, he's got the Aegis as well. Okay, he's coming back to life. Now how's the rest of this fight going? Razor isolated up in the air. Sniper will get hexed. Beyond up on the high ground. Earthshaker gets off a dunk, but he goes down right away. It's the Radiant side in big trouble. They'll lose their Shadow Shaman. Sniper barely alive, and he gets bashed in the face. Now it's just the Razor and the Spider. Can these two be the heroes that his team needs? And it doesn't look like it. Pat Soul still alive. He picks up an ultra kill. It's a full 5 for nil.
Wow.
Only the Aegis is claimed, and that's enough to tap out. It's Voidboys who come back from behind to take game 1 in this best of 3.
They just did such a good job keeping their gold gain up, and they had really good heroes to counter the enemy team. Like, it was very difficult for at least the supports of the Radiant team to pay off, whereas their heroes were always relevant. And Patsful just did a fantastic job never dying. Like, 22 kills, 4 deaths, 21 assists. Like, holy crap, dude. He just owned and continued to get items, and he got the right items, and it was just too hard for Wheels to take a perfect engagement with their heroes. Like, Broodmother's not the best teamfight hero. You know, Razor's a little bit iffy, and he delayed his BKB by so much, which was good, I think, and the right choice, but it was so hard for them to win that game.
Well, Pat Soul, he's been the talk of the town, regarded as one of the best carries in North America right now, and, well, I guess South America, the Americas in general, this whole region. Living up to the hype so far. 22, 4, and 21 on the Spectre at the close of that game.
Yeah.
But it's only game 1, folks. We're starting in the group stages here for Star Ladder Season 12 America. And we've got a whole another game to go. This is a best of 3, so stick around. I'm Zyori, he's Purge. We've got more Dota 2 action coming your way after this.